Howdy, I'm Lee Wilson, and this is TGO Wyoming, on the move. So I took the Land Cruiser out off-roading for its kind of maiden voyage here in Wyoming. I've driven this vehicle in Colorado before, and some really nasty two-track high up in the mountains, the kind of two-track where if you don't watch where you're going, or your tires move off in the wrong direction, you're going to go tumbling a couple of thousand feet down into a fiery, rocky death. So that was really exciting. Of course, back then we didn't have the good tires on this thing or anything like that. This is a family-owned vehicle that I just purchased from my folks. It's a 1994 Toyota FZJ80 Land Cruiser. And I tell you what, I absolutely love this vehicle. It's full-time all-wheel drive, which is a first for me. I've never had a vehicle like this before. Definitely an improvement over my 1990 Chevy Suburban. It's smaller, it is more maneuverable, it is certainly more off-road capable, and I really like it. But I did learn a few interesting things when it comes to doing off-road. We headed out to meet up a couple of friends, wife and I, and Munchkin, and we were going out to Pathfinder, which is a reservoir out kind of west of town here, about 40 miles out. Met up with a couple of friends out there. Two of my friends were on their four-wheelers, and another one of my friends was in his Toyota Tundra. And so we took off down some of the dirt trails. Four-wheelers wanted to go out and play in the sand and do all their stuff, and I just wanted to get this thing off-road, which was, kind of what this vehicle was built for. So we take off, and we get through some pretty easy dirt roads, and then we get to a section of the road that goes down a hill, kind of down a ridge line. Actually goes directly down a ridge line. And that was interesting. That was very rocky, very rutted, and relatively steep. Nothing, terrifyingly steep. But yeah, I got to the top and I looked down and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And obviously other vehicles have been down it. Other, full-size vehicles, not just four-wheelers and side-by-sides. But I was a little concerned about getting back up it. But just took it slow, threw it down into first gear, low, not low range on the four-wheel drive, just, first gear, and it just kind of ka-chug, went down. Went through a horrible section of whoop-de-doos, which required me to go and basically idle over them for about 200 yards, and then through a water crossing, which I am not a fan of water, so that was an interesting experience. But drove around for about about an hour into it, and then hung out for 10 minutes, and I figured, okay, it's time to get back to the wife and Munchkin. So they've been sitting there for a while. I figure an hour in, an hour out. Well, I was wrong. It was actually an hour in and 25 minutes out. So I don't know why the out went so much faster. Probably because I knew exactly where I'm going. I'd seen the terrain before. I navigate it more easily. But I got to that hill and I went, okay, here we go. I thought I should put this in low range. No, or even high range. No, I just decided, you know what? Let's see how this does with just regular all-wheel drive. And I tell you what, the Land Cruiser just chugged right up it. Absolutely no problem, slow and steady all the way up. Now I am running Wrangler Duratrack tires on this thing, running about 40 psi. I probably could have lowered them down a little bit for more traction. They're load range E tires, so I suppose I could dump the pressure a little bit, but I didn't have any way to refill them, to air them back up once I deflated them, so I just left them at 40 psi and never had any traction issues, never had anything weird happen. It just chugged right up and went right along, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. So what's the point of all this? If you have an off-road vehicle, it sure pays off to take it off-road. You see a lot of road queens, kind of like safe queens, get a really fancy off-road vehicle and nobody ever actually goes anywhere with them. So I can't abide by that. I've got to get this thing dirty, got to take it off-road. And I fully intend to do that quite a bit more, and I'll put together some interesting videos of my off-road adventures. But I've got to get a BLM land ownership map. I used to use the Hunt Wyoming map from the Hunting Maps guys, and that card plugged directly into my GPS, but now they've got a new and improved version that is a cell phone app. It can work on either your cell phone, your tablet, and you can load it onto all of your tablets and cell phones and whatnot. It can only run on one at one time. But I'm going to try that, because I can take my Samsung Galaxy Tab 2, load the hunt maps on there, stick it up on the dash, and that'll give me the ability to see land ownership if I'm on state, BLM, private, because Wyoming is a pockmark of private and state land. So there are a lot of places you can go, there's a lot of places you can't go, and if you're going to stop, you better be stopping on BLM or state or national forest or something like that. You don't want to be hanging out on private land. That's just rude. So it was a good weekend. It was a good experience in the Land Cruiser. I will be fixing this vehicle up slowly as I can. It's going to take some time, but it's been a heck of a vehicle so far, and there's going to be a lot of adventures in it. So stick with me, and we'll have more fun later. So thanks again for watching, and as always, stay safe, shoot straight, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos.